Hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is my I'm a Dragon Until I Have Coffee mug that I found myself and bought myself. And as we all know, I do not particularly like coffee, so I'm always a dragon. Today's tea is 2 stash teas. I was really in the mood for chocolate, so I decided to mix my chocolate hazelnut with my white chocolate mocha and see if we get a nice, really deep, rich, chocolatey kind of flavor. The hazelnut tea is a little bit more delicate than the white chocolate mocha, and the white chocolate mocha tends a little bit on the bitter side, but they're both very good teas, and let's see how they taste together. Could be a little deeper. It really could be a little deeper, but I do get both. Get a touch of the bitterness from the white chocolate, and I get some of that, I don't know, the chocolate hazelnut is mellowing it out, I think. It's really good. It needs a bit more depth, I think, but other than that, it's really good. It's been sitting there for a while, so I don't see it changing anytime soon. It won't be changed in flavor by the end of the video because this is like my 4th time trying to film this. So there we go. Anyway, so today we are doing our first Bright Ladies of 2019. It's hard to believe we're already almost a week in when I'm filming. This will probably go up later in the month, but when I'm filming, we're already almost a week in. Anyway, we are going to go Frosty in honor of winter. Winter down here has been beautifully mild. No snow, which is great. As a kid, I love snow. As an adult, not so much. But we've gotten a lot of rain. We've gotten rain almost every single night for at least the last 2 weeks as of filming this. But we are going to do a look in the honor of winter. So we are going to use my ColourPop Semi-Precious. We're going to use this beautiful bluey silver out of that. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Urban palette, which is gorgeous, but it is an older palette and desperately needs, like, you know, some love and using, especially since I have my Reverse Rouge challenge going on. So there's that. And then we have my Profusion Flawless palette, book. They call them books, I think. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous book palette set of colors. The thing with this is that it's a little overwhelming because of all the colors in here for me to use sometimes. So I don't reach for it nearly as much as I should, but it's got some beautiful light blues in it that we'll be using to help with this particular look. And I'm going to talk a little bit about goals. We've talked about goals for the channel, and I've already made some progress on those. But we're going to talk a bit more about personal goals. So we are going to start with the Flawless palette and box. What I'm going to do, let's see if I can look at these. I'm going to mix Capri, which is this little blue one right here, with the white up here that is called Talia for under my brow. I kind of want some shine there, but I don't want it to be too shiny. Kind of want more of a satin than a shimmer. Anyway, so I'm going to mix those up. I really love my new setup. It really helps out a lot with reaching for things and having you guys see me better and all that stuff. Anyway, so goals. First of all, I have already started making progress on my goals for the channel. I'm very, very proud of that. This is all just going under my brow. Giving me this nice light powder blue like I wanted, just very light. Gonna throw a bit more white on there just to make it so it's really, really just a delicate blue. That's what I want. I don't want it too prominent. There we go. it's going to be a little bit more prominent than I was initially going for, but it'll work. And it's on the matter side, which is what I also wanted. So it's a very powdery blue. It's really nice. Anyway, so I have managed to cut back on the emails I've been getting by quite a bit, actually. So that's one thing that I've done. And it's actually made me a lot less stressed about it all, too. So very pleased with the progress I've made on cleaning up my inbox. But I ended up extending that to my Instagram as well. As I keep saying before, as I said when I made my goal video, it's kind of hard to not want things and to reduce on your buying if, you know, you're constantly being inundated with, you know, advertisement from, you know, the stuff that you love, the stuff that you like to collect. It's really kind of hard to just tone that all down if that's, you're seeing a lot of it. It's a little bit darker than what I wanted, but it'll work. Just going to keep grabbing some of this white and trying to tone it down a little bit more, I think. We're going to be fine. So I've managed to do that already, and I've already marked a whole bunch of things for my Reverse Rouge challenge, so I'm on my way for that. Already have an idea on how to do the 3 looks, 1 palette thing. I've already started playing around with one of them. So I feel like I'm feeling really good with where I'm starting off with at the channel. The big stuff I want to talk about is my personal goals. The last couple years, I think I've mentioned before, have been pretty hard on us. Not just financially, there's been other issues going on as well that have made things just difficult in general, financially and otherwise. We had my grandson moved in, and I was supposed to take care of him, and then things happened, and I wasn't taking care of him, and then he moved out, then he moved in, then he moved out, then he and his mother moved in, and then my other, I mean, it's been very unstable the last couple of years. So a lot of things got lost in translation, so to speak. I'm buffing this out just a little bit with another brush, just to kind of lighten it up a bit. So it's been quite unstable for us. And the first year that all this was going on, I did make goals. I knew everything needed to be a bit more stable for it to work for us. So I stopped making goals. Well, this year I'm feeling a bit more on top of things. And so I feel ready to make some of those goals. So now we're going to take this color from the Semi-Precious palette. It's called Easy Go, and we're going to put that completely across the lid. Don't be afraid. It's going to work out. I can already see some of my ladies who are just starting to get into color going, all over? You're going to make it all shiny? Yes, we're going to make it all shiny. This is a very beautiful bluey silver. I love it. I wish they had it in a single, as a single color. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Anyway, and in the process of also not being able to make goals to help us in general, a lot of things got lost over the last couple of years. Okay, sorry about that. Neighbors upstairs got a bit loud. Very bluey silver. I love this silver. I love this silver. I think it needs something to be just a bit more silver though. Okay, so this is the Make Up Your Mind palette. This one is not available anymore. This has got to be one of my favorite silvers ever. It's called Toasted. It's another color I really wish that they had as a single. I'm going to use that and go over the bluey color I did in Semi-Precious. I'm sure you can find these in with other companies. like I said, I really wish Toasted was a single. But this is a beautiful, beautiful silver. That's much closer to what I wanted. There we go. Nice and shiny and silver. There we go. The blue underneath isn't a bad idea since we're going frosty. As I'm sitting here looking at myself going, oh, glad it's blurry because it probably looks like a really bad 60s to 70s blue look. But anyway. So, as I was saying, we ended up losing a lot of stuff. It's very hard to keep an eye on things like your diet. It's really hard to keep up on exercise. All that stuff kind of got thrown under the bus, so to speak, when all of this was going down. It just couldn't stick because of how absolutely nuts it was the last 3 years. All of that stuff went down the drain. It was really disappointing, but a lot of things went down the drain, honestly. So I'm going to use this color, where are you? Brandy, right here, from the Profusion palette. And I'm going to brush that over the outer 1/3 to 1/2 of my eye. Anyway, as I was saying, so we had lost a lot of habits. We lost a lot of things. It is really, really hard to keep up an exercise habit with a brand new baby in a house. Mamas will tell you, you know, you can't keep a schedule. At least not initially. And then on top of that, when they're infants, they really, really do need like all of your time and attention. So my exercise habit went out the window. Like I said, a lot of our good eating habits went out the window. If you wonder what I'm doing up here, I'm kind of, I'm to try to get closer. I'm kind of going a little bit in the crease. It's going to get covered up, but it helps me find my crease a little bit when I do this. And it helps gradiate the color some when I do put in my darker crease color. So a lot of things got lost last year. And want to recover some of those things now. So we are going to be working on, I've already started working on exercising again. I'm going to use this color Madness in my crease and to do my little corner thing that I do. This was my first Urban Decay palette that I really fell in love with. Just a beautiful palette. Anyway, so a lot of my goals are basically about restoring things that I lost. In fact, my word for 2019 is restoration. I'm restoring my health habits. I've spent most of 2018 restoring my hair to a healthier, curlier, you know, what it should be. 2019 will continue that. I'm going to restore my writing habits, just all kinds of things like that. I'm focused on doing the things I need to do to be happier and healthier and to get back to the things that I love doing after 3 years of absolute nuts in my house. Love my kids, but they definitely made things a bit crazy this past couple of years. So that's my word, and that's what we're going to do. And some of the things I'm focusing on, if you follow my Whole and Healthy Wednesday, I will tell you not to do too much at once. If you try to change everything, even if you're trying to recover habits, if you try to change everything, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to be in a position of not putting yourself best up for success. Let's put it that way. I don't want to say you'd put yourself in a position of failure because, you know, you can get through and keep going and stuff. But I wanted to focus on important things. So I am getting back to my exercise. I am lifting 3 to 4 times a week, and I use dumbbells to do that. I don't go to gyms. So I'm getting back to that, and I'm focusing on muscle for a whole lot of reasons. And ladies, we're going to be blue. We're going to be Frosty. But that was the point of this look, right? Frosty. And so that's the big one right there. I was still doing, I still managed to do at night when I wash dishes, I would dance when doing the dishes. So I've still managed to do that. We are going to, all right, so the next color I'm going to use is Evidence, also in my Urban palette, and I'm going to use that to deepen up my crease a bit. So also we are going to try to get back to some diet related things. we're going to go back to trying to go vegetarian 3 times a week. And some of that has to do with health. You don't really need all that meat. You can get protein in other ways. We are meat eaters. My husband in particular is a meat man. However, don't need to eat meat every night. And you can get protein in other ways. And meat prices are just going up like crazy. So this will save our budget some too, going back to having vegetarian meals 3 times a week. I told my husband I wanted to do this, and he gave me a look, but then he said, okay, I'm willing to do that. He's not willing to do it so much for the health reasons. He's more concerned about the money. But he's willing to do that. One of the reasons we had stopped eating brown rice was because our rice cooker of the time died. And for some reason, we couldn't cook brown rice on our own to save our lives. I don't know. But now we have a new rice cooker. He got a new cooker for Christmas from work. And so we're going to go back to having brown rice. And then those were the 3 big ones on health and diet, I think. I'm going to take my fluffy brush and I'm going to do some more blending out here. Smooching everything in, making it all blend together a little bit more. I'm going to throw in a touch of this really deep purple Voodoo in the very outer corner and underneath the eye a little bit. As soon as I can find my brush. There we go. There are 2 other habits that are 2 other things I want to work on. And right now, like I said, I am lifting 3 to 4 times a week. It really depends on how things go on the weekend for me to lift on Saturdays, which would be tomorrow. Or I should say on Sundays. Right now I'm doing my lifting Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So the other day that I would do it would be on Sundays if I do it at all. But it's going to really, that day, that extra day, just pretty much is going to depend on how, things are going. If I have other stuff that needs my attention, which is likely to be happening, stuff like that. How much I feel like going into my live on FB with wet hair. Things like that. So, but I'm real happy with my current schedule on that. Even with me lifting 3 times a week, the other thing I want to do, I can't do right now because I don't walk in the winter. I don't walk in the summer. They are both very, well, one's too hot, the other's too cold. They get the winter gets kind of wet in addition to that. So I usually stop walking as soon as the fall cools off. And I stop walking when it starts heating up for winter. So I'm going to grab some of that light blue Capri again, and I am going to mix it with this color Lola to go on the inner part of my eye. So like I was saying, I don't walk in the winter. It just gets too cold. We're going to need more of that Capri in there. That's okay, we'll get there. And I don't walk in the summer because it gets too hot, but I do walk in the spring and the fall. And so my plan is I'm going to keep lifting all year. That's my big focus. You know, continue to do at least 3 days a week. And then during my walking season, I plan to add walking for 2 to 3 days as well. So I've got a plan to get myself physically active. I've actually already started lifting. I'm pretty pleased with my lifting at this point. This is very frosty. We're going to get rid of all this fallout and move along. So those are my health. And the other thing that I'm going to do, I was going to say, so those are my health things. And there's one more. I think I also mentioned in my last, one of my videos, one of my Whole and Healthy Wednesday videos, that I also tend to be, I'm very much into sugar. I could eat a whole bag of candy in one sitting. It's terrible. It's terrible, you guys. It's terrible. Going to be bougie. Going to use my Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. This is in Honey to do my cover up. So there is one other thing that I'm going to do for the diet part. I think I mentioned that I can sit down and I can eat an entire bag of candy in, you know, one day. I'm terrible when it comes to sweets. We have been reducing the amount of them in the house, which is always helpful. But the other thing I'm doing is I'm starting to use Kind bars to replace some of that craving. The Kind bars have the protein that I need since I'm working on building muscle. They have the sweet taste that I crave without being completely 100% sugar. They have the fiber I need. To help me feel full. So the Kind bars actually help with a lot of things. Be honest, I have no idea where we're at right now. I've been having interruptions and all kinds of things going on. So if I'm, well, you guys are used to me. Those of you who've been here a while know I blather around. It eventually comes out in the editing, but yeah, I kind of just, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know how I manage sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, going to be replacing sweets when I can with the Kind bars. And if I don't have the Kind bars, because the Kind bars are a touch expensive, I will go to yogurt. So, which I love Greek yogurt. It has protein. It does not have the fiber I need, but it does have the high protein that I need since I'm trying to build muscle right now. We are going to get into doing our color correcting in just a minute. So going to color correct. I have two more things on my goal list for 2019, and then I'm gonna tell you about those a little bit, and then I'm going to move on to finishing my face off camera and come back. Yeah, it's a mess today. I'm sorry, folks. But the other two goals I have are related to my writing, and I really, really want to get back to my writing a lot. I really, really do. This past year has been a miserable time for me. I'm one of those writers that if I don't write, I get cranky. I get really cranky. So this past year has just been terrible for my writing in particular. The year with the baby also was kind of a problem. I'm just using my green and trying to get rid of my red. And I've just washed these brushes, so they're a little bit more in general. Anyway, so this last year was really, really hard, and honestly, I actually got very few words. I'm used to getting several 100,000 words in a year, you know, or at least 150 or 120 or somewhere around there. I think my lowest before the last 3 years was 121,000. And this past year, I didn't even break 20K. It was terrible, terrible. Just too much going on, too much stress. I was tired all the time because of everything going on. And my creative time is at night, but if you're too tired to actually think about what you're writing, you can't write. And so my writing really, really suffered this past year a lot. Just was too tired to get into it. There was just too much to deal with. My brain cells just weren't up to it most of the time. Like I said, I managed a few things. I also had stopped submitting my work. So, I mean, I did a little bit more towards the end of the year. After the baby moved out and things seemed to settle down, I did feel like I started to, I don't know, wake up a little bit, I guess would be the word. It's the only thing I can think of. I felt more capable of doing the things I wanted to do, but I still needed recovery time. It's just crazy, just how utterly, I don't know, I can't even explain it. Just like, it was just like I was just so worn out from everything that was going on that even my creativity was drained. And you know, there were things around going on at the house and stuff like that too that were pretty depressing. So I wasn't baking. I wasn't doing any of those things that I love to do. I did get into my channel a lot, but a lot of the other creative stuff just went right out the window. I just didn't have it in me to do them. So all of that was just, it was lost. It was just lost. And they've been a big part of who I am and all of that for at least a decade, longer than that. I think I started actually tracking my word count nearly 20 years ago. Almost 20 years ago, not quite. 15 or 16, 17, somewhere in there. And I had been writing before that. So to not be writing was just very, very hard. And not to be subbing is not so hard, honestly. Submitting your work can be a very difficult thing. It can be very, it's very exhausting because it's really hard to get acceptance. And so you're constantly having to deal with all the rejection. And, yeah, that was very hard too. But giving that up wasn't nearly as hard as just giving up the words and not doing the words anymore. And this year, I'm going to restore my writing. I'm going to reclaim my habits. I'm starting easy. And I know I keep saying I keep telling myself not to say all the ums, and I keep saying But I'm going to restore those habits. I'm going to reclaim my writing. I'm starting small when you've not done something for a while, just sitting there and going, okay, so I used to write 1,500 words a day. I'm gonna make my goal 1,500 words a day. No, I went conservative and decided to, pretty much go with 250 for starters a day. Hopefully by the end of the year, I will be doing quite a bit more than that. We'll see. I should be at least doing double that, you know, maybe 3 times that by the end of the year, as long as I keep consistent. But that's the writing goal. I'm going to start writing again. In fact, I've already started. Just so much fell apart the last couple of years. So I'm honestly really looking forward to doing better and getting, like I said, restoring my habits, getting back to the things that I love doing. I'm really looking forward to all of that. Getting back in place for me. That's the best way to put it. That's what restoration is. You're recovering. I'm just ready. I'm just ready. I spent a lot of time after Christmas and before the new year just preparing myself for all of that, and thinking about and planning my goals and getting myself psyched up and telling myself, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is how I'm going to be doing it. This is why I'm going to be doing it. Things like that. And making myself, you know, just pretty much prepared and motivated and mentally there to get into my goals. I think that week between Christmas and New Year's is a good time to do that. And it really, really helped me. Anyway, so I've got all that done. We've talked about my goals for 2019. These are more my personal goals. There is also the use more, spend less. That's not just for, that's mostly for my beauty stuff, but it's for a few other things too. You know, I need to use up my tea. I've got shitloads of tea, guys. I really should show you the bag of tea. The box of tea, the garbage bag full of tea. So yeah, I've got a lot of that, and just I'm ready for it. I'm ready to just make that progress. Anyway, now that I've rambled on to death, and we are probably into an hour for this video, I am going to go and finish my face, and I will be right back. So here it is, our final look. We are looking frosty. I've been fighting my eyes for the last 5 minutes, so if there's any holes in here, they've been acting up today. Anyway, I hope you like what you've seen, and I would love to hear some of your 2019 goals. I think I've said in my whole and healthy, or actually I think I said it in the 2019 goals for the channel, I don't make resolutions. Resolutions are, to me, things that you achieve or you don't achieve, whereas goals are things that you aim for and you count progress towards. So I hope you like having heard about my goals. I really want to hear about some of your goals for the upcoming year. And I also hope that you like this look and what we've done with it. I did add some more of that white to lighten this up and sort of smooth out, blur out these lines up here a little bit. And like I said, I've been fighting the under eye, so those colors may have changed a little bit in the process of doing all that. But other than that, you know, I think it's pretty good. The lip is a little off, but I think it's a pretty good look overall. And I'm really enjoying some of the products that I've been using from my Ipsy and from my big grab bag box. It's a grab box instead of a grab bag of samples and things that I've been playing around with. I'm pretty happy with everything that I've used today. Anyway, I hope you like what you've seen and that you will subscribe if you're not already. And if you do subscribe, I hope you hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload. And if you're part of my notification squad, oh yes indeed, I must remind you to check your bells because, yep, still getting knocked off, at least at the time of filming. Maybe YouTube will finally have it fixed by the time I upload. Anyway, if you don't subscribe, well, you know, that would make me sad, but we do hope you'll come back again because you are always welcome. And when you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. Not as good cold, but it is more chocolatey. Is that a word? Definitely get more of the chocolate flavor in it. It's not as bitter. I think the flavors are more blended. I'm not getting as much of one tea or the other so much as that just a nice, really blend in the chocolate. Really good cold, but I think I still prefer it hot. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day.